Hi Cancers, and that includes Cancer Sun, Moon, and Rising. Today I am here to give you your 2021, not quite horoscope, but predictions because I'm using astrology cards and I am familiar with the transits. Just in case you didn't know, I'm also an astrologer. So we're going to start with something super fun first, and we are going to find your animal guide for the year. So this is basically just about what animals' wisdom can help Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising get through their year with the greatest success in whatever way you define success, whatever that means for you. What's going to help you get through the year? Okay. All right, so we got the horse. The horse has a lot to do with being steadfast. It's about being strong, and it's finding your own personal freedom, and that'll also help you keep your willpower and keep your motivation throughout the year. It's about doing things the way that you're meant to do, not in a way that betrays anyone around you, because honestly, if you're following your own path, that should be totally in line with what your family and anyone who loves you wants. And I think you might end up feeling like at certain points it's not going to line up, like what they want you to do and what you should be doing. You might worry that it's not going to line up, but I think the horse is actually telling us that things will line up more than you initially expect them to in 2021. And the people who support you, they're going to honor your personal freedom, and they're going to see your strength, and they're going to admire it and continue to love and support you the same way that they did before. So that was a good card to get for your 2021. And now we're going to do like a super general horoscope type of reading just to see what's going to be going on in different areas of your life. And then based on what we find, we will draw more cards. So go ahead and get yourself comfortable. Grab a cup of tea if you haven't already. I totally flopped. It was a shuffling flop. It was another shuffling flop. I don't think this is the way that I normally shuffle this deck. I have different ways that I shuffle different decks. Okay. Let's try to, yeah, my deck didn't like that. It was like, no, Penny, why'd you do that? Don't worry, it's not going to be mad at you. It's not going to take it out on you. So I'm just going to shuffle like this then. The way that I'm bad at. Card just fell on the floor. Let's see what it was. I think this is for me. This is 4 of coins. Protect your resources. All right, so I'm told that this is the reading. We can stop shuffling now. The first card that is coming up is the 7 of Swords. So this has to do with your own personal identity. This means you're going to feel like you're facing a lot of situations in 2021 that just aren't fair. It seems like there's not really any good answer. You might have a lot of guilt surrounding this as well. In terms of money, you got a really great card. You got the 10 of coins. So this is about feeling supported. This is about having all of, not just the resources you need, but the people that you need in your life in order for you to feel good and comfortable. In terms of communication, we have the 6 of coins. So I do feel like this card kind of goes hand in hand with this card where you wind up feeling a lot of guilt. You also have a lot of conversations where people are going to be asking you for help. People are going to be coming to you for advice, for moral support. You're going to be there to kind of help them through it. And you might have some people in your life who need financial support as well, but I don't feel like giving them the financial support is going to be quite as important as giving them the advice and the information that they need in order to be able to avoid future problems. Because I'm feeling that this person in your life, they have a lot of neediness, and the neediness is going to continue and it's going to perpetuate unless they have solutions to their problems. It's not that they want to be needy, and in fact they might even have a certain degree of pride over it, not wanting to, admit that they're not figuring things out as well. But giving verbal advice is ultimately going to be more important, and I am seeing that there's at least a healthy relationship between you and this person. It's functional. they're not all just the take type. So if you give them advice instead of money, they're probably going to take that too. I feel like I said take too much. That's way too redundant. Okay. So in Home and Family, we have the Queen of Cups, and it's this beautiful mermaid card. So I feel like this is kind of about a controlling mother figure, but she's way in the background. She's not like actively in your life as much. She might not have as much influence anymore, but it's kind of like her voice always sitting in the back of your head, always influencing your actions. And you might feel a little bit worried, like she wouldn't actually be proud of you with what's going on. And I don't feel like it's so much about like what she's actively doing or what she's actively saying. I feel like this is just a worry, like something in the back of your head, like, oh no, she would not approve of this. Like I can't let you might even feel like you have to lie to her at some point. Like, I can't let my mother know what's going on. In terms of affairs, we have the World card. And this one, it actually looks like a flirtatious endeavor with some erotic dancing. So this basically, it means there's going to be some very fulfilling love in your life in 2021. A relationship that makes you feel more whole, more fulfilled, and it's going to be like that rainbow after the storm. It's going to be like the big celebration after all of the difficult transits you've been going through, both in 2020 and the years before. There's a lot of stuff that needed to be settled, and it looks like things in your love life are really good, and actually, for the most part, making you really happy in 2021. All right, but work and everyday life is going to be confusing. Things are going to be kind of turbulent. There's going to be some big changes happening for you. So we are definitely going to draw more cards on that because we want to know what that is about. All right, so this one has to do with marriage and relationships. I feel like for a lot of you, this is a past marriage. This is a divorce you're going through. And it's kind of like that final settling of things, like what was actually fair, what was yours, what was mine, how can we like finally kind of cut these ties. And there might be some spiritual loose ends. Like, I know it depends what church you got married under or what religious spiritual path you got married under. There's different contracts for all of them, and a lot of times when we get a divorce, we just do the legal paperwork and we forget about the spiritual loose ends that we need to tie up with that. So I feel like there might be some, cord cutting, so to speak, that you and your former partner still have to kind of go through, and just to totally solidify that things are over. And they might have been officially over for years for a lot of you now, but they need to be emotionally and spiritually finalized. There's some kind of loose end that needs to be tied up here. So if you've never been married before, if you don't have a divorce on your, as a notch on your belt or whatever, that's a weird way to put it, but that I couldn't think of anything else. I'm sorry. If you've never been divorced, this might just be about a different ex. It could even be an ex-friend, an ex-business partner, someone you have to tie up the loose ends with. All right, next we have, this is kind of an area of fate, and it's showing that you have kind of a variety of ways of approaching the future. Like, there's a lot of different ways you could view things and a lot of different ways you can move forward. I feel like it specifically ties into this and some of the things that are going to collapse and some of the things that are going to be changing in 2021. So this could mean, I want to wait till we get the career card. Honestly, I'm actually not going to say anything until we get the career card because I don't have enough information yet. I don't want to say something that is wrong. Next, we have the Chariot that came up. And I am seeing some type of travel, likely going to visit family at some point. I know with COVID, this has been kind of a controversial issue. So whatever's going on, it looks like the things that need to happen or in order for you to be able to visit your family, they're going to happen. I'm seeing that you're going to be able to visit them. If it's not actual family, it might be a place that makes you feel more connected to your family or more connected to your path. Like it could be an old family vacation location or something like that. Something that makes you feel more connected to your family. All right, now we have the career card that's come up, and it is the Ace of Wands. So it shows that there's something new happening in your career, and it's because you couldn't continue on the current path that you were on in 2020 and in the years before. So there's something big going on that is going to be changing. We're going to draw more cards on that for sure. This is an interesting card. Oops, I dropped it. Why do I keep dropping cards in your reading, Cancer? It's probably because my deck's mad at me. It wants revenge. It's trying to embarrass me. Okay, so this is saying that there are going to be some new friendships coming into your life, and they're kind of aggressive. It's kind of like regardless of whether or not you wanted these new friendships, they are coming for you. Probably gonna draw more cards on that one too. Okay, so with what's going on beneath the surface in your life, you have a soulmate pairing, and this might feel like it's not fully understood, it's not fully recognized, and there's a lot of distrust that's going on, mostly because of things that have happened to you in your past. It could also be because of your partner's past as well, but I'm getting that it's mostly you. And you having trouble trusting when something is right, trusting when something's really fate, because you have all these worries and these concerns about everything that's gone on in the past. So I think we want to draw more cards on that. We want to find out more about these friends you're making. And we also want to find out, like, what is going on in your career? What is this big change that you are facing? And then we're probably going to ask for more information about, you know, like advice and how you can make that work to your benefit. All right. So first I am going to ask about career. First, just kind of asking, you know, what's going on? Is it like is this a change you're making just because you want to, or are you going to be forced to make the change? So far I'm thinking you're probably going to be kind of forced into it, but I will say it didn't look that bad. It really didn't. But we're going to find out more information about this career change that's going on for Cancers in 2021. Okay, the Empress. So that's telling me you are going to be well taken care of. And it's so far looking like there's mostly just a certain dissatisfaction that's been going on in your career. And this is a change that you actually want. So you're out there actually looking for new opportunities, looking for new jobs. And it's not that your job wasn't taking care of you at all. It's not that it wasn't a good job, but it's kind of just about you looking for more. So I am seeing that there's going to be like a certain path of nostalgia, you know, you trying to return to childhood dreams. Like, I wanted something more in my life. That's kind of going to be the fire under your butt that kind of sparks this change in 2021. Okay, so this explains some of the cards we saw earlier about you feeling like things aren't fair, or feeling like your mother wasn't going to approve of your decisions this year. And you're just kind of isolating yourself because of this, because you feel that other people aren't going to agree with your decisions. Other people aren't going to see things the way that you saw them. So it's about you finding your own path. So this is another kind of reassuring card that other people in your life do care about you. They are going to be there for you. And you've got some very money-minded, business-minded women around you who do want the best for you. And I feel like they are ultimately going to understand your decision. But you're not wrong for wanting to kind of keep it in the dark, keep it kind of a secret until you've figured things out more on your own, because they will be concerned. And it might save you some time to not have to have the conversation with them about it. But if you do want to have the conversation, I'm seeing that they will be there for you, ready to listen. So I'm seeing that part of this career change is motivated by kind of a fear that you'll never. It's not that you're not happy at all, because you have a lot of good things going on in your life, but it's a fear that you'll never be emotionally fulfilled by your career. So that's one of the motivations that's happening here. And then you might be afraid to change because you might feel like it's not going to get better anyway. But the outcome card is the World. So Cancer, in a lot of ways, this is your year. You have some really good things coming up for you in your career. It looks like your love life is going pretty well as well. And I'm just going to do one more reading on your career, asking for advice on how to make the best of this. So what can Cancer do to make sure that they find a fulfilling career in this change that they undergo? All right. Okay, so the first card is the Three of Coins. So get it in writing. Don't just verbally make an agreement with someone. Whatever you agree to pursue, get it in writing. It's not a done deal until it's in writing. And then we have the Death card serving as a warning. So if you're not familiar with tarot, this might be scary. This is not literal death, okay? It's about moving on. It's about letting things be dead and gone. So this is basically just saying don't let your old job get buried until the new job is set in stone and you have paperwork, you have a contract, you have everything figured out already. And I also feel that this is kind of hinting that you might be able to find a better opportunity with the company you're already working for, and it might not be about finding a totally new company. There's going to be something similar about the job you are working now and then what you end up switching to. And I think that might be disappointing for some of you, because some of you are like hoping for like a really big change, but for some reason Spirit is advising you not to let your current job be totally dead and gone. And it might be that you have to stick with your old job a little bit longer, and that might be all it's saying, but don't be in a hurry to totally get rid of your current job. Okay, so be very, very careful in the decisions you make and the way that you behave. And I feel like this is saying don't get too excited. Basically, I feel like this is obvious, but it's also like, it's natural. If you get a little bit too emotional at an interview because you know this is a job you've wanted all your life and it's your dreams coming true, and honestly, how could you not get emotional at that point? I would be emotional. If you do that, it could make things a little bit harder for you. So it's better for you to take a smart approach to it. You know, you can verbally admit that this is something I've been wanting all my life, but you need to keep your head on your shoulders and you need to show them that you are a responsible and business savvy person. Okay, so be ready for some changes when it comes to money. Don't try to play it too safe. Don't be too content with what you already have. And I feel like this might be a motivator to like not seek out any change at all. So we have a balance of, you know, you do need to wait and don't try to make it too big of a change too soon. You need to wait. Don't burn any bridges, but you also need to push yourself a little bit, you know, to find greater fulfillment and not just settle for what has been putting the bread on the table. So be ready for some changes. I'm also seeing like the money situation might feel a little bit more chaotic than it actually is. It might feel like you're risking a pay cut, getting lower pay. That might be something that some of you are worried about this year. And it's like Spirit is telling you that you're gonna be okay and it's not that big of a deal. Okay, emotionally we have the Ace of Coins and then the Lovers. So this is again saying don't get overly emotional about the situation, and you really need to focus on demonstrating what you can actually contribute and not just how badly you want something and how you feel it's meant for you. Focus on what you can actually contribute, okay? I am right for this job because blank, rather than this job is right for me because of blank. So it's just some really possibly obvious advice, but it might be good to re-listen to it if you're about to go in for a job interview, just to keep it in your head. All right, so we answered the stuff about career. It does look like it's going to be a change that you sought out yourself. And now I want to know what is really going on in your relationships. And like, I guess we really want to know about the romantic relationship, just that one relationship. Okay, yeah, so it is paranoia. It's just about protecting your heart, being afraid to move forward. And I'm seeing that there's some degree of suspicion about, they've been too kind to me. Things have been too good. And really, everything's okay. It looks like you're well taken care of. You might feel like you're being unrealistic. In the past, you kind of had one foot in and one foot out. And throughout 2021, you're going to be kind of trying to figure out how you're feeling about things and figuring out whether or not you're really ready for this relationship. But you are going to be putting work into it. The two of you are going to be planning for the future. But it feels like your partner already knows that it's like meant to be. They can feel it and they're confident in it. So I don't think your partner's the one dealing with the insecurity and the uncertainty as much as you are. Your partner's like totally confident in this relationship. So another thing that's coming up is you've had some past marriages or relationships that really made you feel trapped in a way, like you've made a deal with the devil and it's hard to get out of, and you couldn't escape those shackles of that oppressive relationship where you were being taken advantage of, where you were being used, and you're kind of afraid that that's going to happen again. And especially when it comes to marriage, because this person looks so ready. It looks like they feel like they totally know what they want. But especially when it comes to marriage, for you, Cancer, it looks like you have kind of a negative perception about marriage in 2021. And what is going to come is the Emperor. And I feel like this is telling us that you have the power to make the decisions. I'm not seeing anything bad going on in your love life. I'm not seeing any kind of new betrayal or anything like that. It looks like it's in the past, but it's still in your head and it's still affecting your heart and your ability to open up and trust in the relationship that you actively have in 2021. But ultimately, it is your decision, your choice, to decide what is the year where I am ready to move forward, where I'm ready to make big steps in my relationship. And it's not going to be easy for you to get to that point. It's going to be hard work. So 2021 is probably going to be more of a year of planning things out, of making sure everything's right, of working on building the life together, and then waiting until you are ready to finally say, yes, I am ready to commit. I am ready to be your lifelong partner, and waiting until you don't feel like that is a prison sentence anymore. That's essentially what we're going through, but it doesn't look like this is such a blanket statement because I feel like I can't say this to all Cancers out there in the world. Like, what is the likelihood that that's actually going to be true? There's got to be some exceptions, so let me know what happens. But for the most part, it looks like Cancers are going to be having a good year when it comes to relationships and love matters. So anyway, I feel like that basically covers everything. I do want to know a little bit more about this friend that's coming into your life, though. So we're going to do a little reading on that, because it seems like they have like some kind of pushy energy about them. And we want to know if that's just their personality or if that's something we need to be concerned about. So what is their deal? So I'm getting that they don't realize how they come across. They have a lot of issues and a lot of things they've been dealing with. A lot of these things that they have dealt with are similar to things that you have dealt with. So that's part of the reason why they feel like this like pushiness and this need to be friends with you. So they're a little bit naive, very hopeful that you will see things the same way. And they're also feeling alone. They're feeling like they don't have, even if they have a lot of friends, I'm feeling like this is a very extroverted person. They probably do have a lot of friends, but they feel like there's not really anyone in their life that understands them and understands the things that they've been through in the past. So yeah, they've seen some hard times in the past. They do have better days coming their way. They just really feel a strong connection. They feel like the two of you are meant to be friends. I feel like you kind of remind them of like a mother figure for them. And it's not that you're old enough to be their mom. It's not that you are really like their mom. I feel like you're the maternal figure that they wish they had. It's part of the reason why they feel such a strong connection to you. And this is someone who's still trying to figure their life out financially. They're still trying to figure out, like, do I need to go to college? Do I need to further my education? Am I going to start a business? They might feel like they're a little bit all over the place, like back and forth, but that's part of the reason why you're going to be giving them some guidance, essentially. And like I said, the advice is more important than financial support. Even if this is someone who was struggling financially, I feel like the financial struggle is not, like it showed up in the past. The financial struggle is not active this year for them. It's more so that they need advice this year. So this is about this person. This is not about you. And it's showing that they're going to have some very turbulent situations again this year. And they might have some plans that did not quite work out. So they might wind up feeling kind of high maintenance, like they need a lot of emotional support. That is something that I'm a little bit concerned about. I'm thinking, like, do I want to do an advice reading on this? Because I feel like everyone must have something different that they want in friendships. Okay, we're just going to draw 2 more cards. That's it. Okay, so don't get too caught up in worrying about them and trying to make decisions for them, or really trying to make the decision of what is right for you to do or what is wrong for you to do. This is about focusing on your own well-being. And that might mean that you invite them over for a dinner, that you spend some time with them, but not in a way that stresses you out, only in a way that makes you feel 100% comfortable and makes you feel good about what's going on. It makes you feel like your own cup is being filled as well. Don't spend too much time, worrying about, I have to do things one way or the other, or, feeling like you're really at a crossroads with this person, because what's going on with them, it is their situation to figure out. It's not as much about you, and you don't need to be making any kind of decision regarding it. And like, boundaries are going to be easier to set if you, like I said, focus on your own well-being and let them be in your life in a way that is emotionally fulfilling for both of you and makes both of you feel comfortable. And like, since this person's pushy, you might feel forced to like respond to their immediate needs in a certain way, but this is more about like setting the scene, more about making sure that you are ready to take the time to interact with them in a comfortable way, and that'll actually benefit them more and it'll benefit you more. So it's not about doing things in a certain way that makes you feel uncomfortable. If you feel pressured to do that, that's the bad advice. This is the devil in your ear, like giving you the bad advice, saying, oh, you need to push yourself in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable in order to do what's right for this person. No, that's not true at all. you just need to be comfortable, and you need to let them experience, some of life's comforts alongside you. That's all it really is. So anyway, Cancer, that was your reading for 2021. If you liked it, please hit the like, subscribe button, the notification bell. If you want to get notifications for these videos, whichever you feel is right for you. And I love reading comments as long as they're not mean. So please leave a comment below. It's very motivating for me. And if you're interested in finding your natal chart placements or showing your friends their natal chart placements, I have a link in the description below to my natal chart calculator on my website. So take care. Have a great year. Bye.